Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our church members across the world. I am back to bring you your recap on Black Ink Crew, Season 6, Episode 5, and it is titled, Help Me, Howard. Now first, I have to acknowledge the fact that Jada, the new receptionist, who was Walt's fling, the girl he was pushing up on a couple episodes ago, that he actually was the one who hired as the receptionist. Oh my gosh, Jada is beautiful. Like, that is a beautiful woman. Like, she is gorgeous. Next, I must address this fraudulent storyline from last week. You guys know I called it out. I said that I could not be invested in that $10,000 stolen or missing storyline because it just seemed too fake for me. And it was proven to be fake this episode because Caesar said that it was not stolen. There was a miscommunication because of the credit card charges showing up in the account 2 to 3 business days later. And that is actually true, but Caesar has been in business for a while, so I'm not sure if this is a valid lie or excuse, because either he is just now beginning to take credit cards, or as I stated, it was a lie, because as a business owner, you should know that credit card charges and cash shows up differently. So if someone is doing bookkeeping, there is no way humanly possible to mistake the credit card charges for cash, and you know where the cash is. And you always have the information somewhere where it states that this is how much cash we made for today, and this is how many credit card charges we've processed for the day. So that was just BS, and I'm glad they kicked that storyline to the curb quickly because it was pointless. And then we realized and found out that it means Melody was falsely accused, and Donna at this point doesn't even really have any remorse. She doesn't care. She just said that Melody was a horrible manager to begin with because she wasn't taking it seriously. And it's like, I get that it seemed like Melody was not taking her manager skills or manager title as seriously as we thought she was, although I kind of did see her do more than anybody else. But that still does not mean that you should be okay with labeling someone and not being the first one to apologize, try to get them back. Next, the Help Me Howard portion of this episode. Okay, so thank you to all of my subscribers and church members who sent me the link before this episode of Donna being on the New York 11 News with the Help Me Howard segment. And so I watched that a couple days ago. And then here it is now on this particular episode of Black Ink. And I'm glad you guys sent it because it brought some other concerns of mine to the forefront. First and foremost, I was gonna say Donna's ass was blaming somebody like Melody for stealing the $10,000 and because of her tax or IRS owing. But the reality of it is Donna's ass ain't got no money and she isn't paying rent to her landlord or her roommate. Now, Help Me Howard. Donna claims that it's fake news, that she does pay her rent. How can someone go on TV and defame her or bash her without Help Me Howard coming to have a conversation with her? But I do recollect from the Help Me Howard segment, they were at the home and Donna was in the room and did not open the door. And so she did have an opportunity to be able to open the door and I guess speak her piece, but she did not. Now, what threw me off with this whole segment was I do feel like the Help Me Howard situation is real. Donna probably not paying her rent is real. The roommate definitely has valid concerns. But I was confused because when the roommate showed up with her daughter to Black Ink, and she looked as if she was coming and ready to fight, because what other reasons could she have come there? And Donna was just sitting on ready, my God. She didn't waste any time. She took the girl out, and I was gagging because Bae actually jumped in the fight. I don't know if you guys caught that. Bae was pulling the mom's hair, and granted, Donna did push up first, but I do believe that lady was coming to fight, especially with her bringing her daughter on set. Now, what makes me side-eye the roommates even though I was on her side, because I do believe that Donna is lying and probably did not pay. Donna did admit breaking the window and all of that. I gave the roommate the side eye because on Help Me Howard, you guys can look it up, it's on YouTube. She said that she did not converse nor talk to the Black Ink crew producers to get her payment or money from Donna because they ignored her the first time and then they wanted her to be on the show once they found out that Help Me Howard was involved. But bitch, that's a lie because you're claiming you did not want to be on the show, but here you are now walking into a scene on the show. So while Donna is messy as hell, like my baby daddy Teddy said, this landlord or roommate is just as messy because, yeah, I'm not sure I believe her story 100% either. I feel like she was trying to get her 15 seconds of fame because Donna is on a TV show, and that's what it was from my perspective, only because of the fact that you can't say on Help Me Howard that you did not want to be on Black Ink Crew, you did not want to be on the show, you did not want to be a part of it, but then you show up on the damn show anyway. And it was so funny because Walt said, child, I bet you wish that Help Me Howard was here helping your ass right now. And you just don't walk up to somebody's job. This is one thing about Black Ink Crew. Granted, it's a TV show, but it baffles me how people walk into someone's job ready to fight their place of business. And then also after the fight was broken up, the roommate then says, I'm gonna take you to court. I'll see you in court. Girl, at this point, your court case is probably done and over with because of this altercation. We also saw in this episode that Donna claims her specialty is doing roses, and I will give her some credit. The roses that she did on her client did look okay. I wasn't too mad at it, but the concept was very interesting because we found out that the client was physically abused by his mother, so he had his mother being the representation of a black rose, and he was the red rose in the center, and that was just very deep for a man to come forward and admit that they were physically abused by their mother. Okay, so now this is where Sky somewhat gets on my nerves because I'm always rooting for her, but once they found out that the $10,000 was misaccounted for, and it was definitely Miss Kitty's fault because she's the one who put it out there, although Miss Kitty did not blame nor accuse any specific person, Sky was annoyed, of course, because she could not go back to Atlanta, and Caesar made Sky the new manager of Black Ink because Melody's not there. But this is why I get annoyed by Sky because, as I stated, I'm always rooting for her, but for her to kind of bully Miss Kitty, that was definitely a form of bullying. For her to talk about her saying it's your fault, and while it was wrong, it was hilarious when Sky made up that oily face song. Like, I bust out laughing, it was hilarious. Sky is very funny, but I am not okay with the whole bullying aspect of that particular situation. Next, I have to address Kevin Leroy coming out to his dad. Now, it's interesting because I have been watching this show since the beginning. I believe he came on board last season. And I'm thrown off as to why am I just realizing what his real name is. Did anybody else wonder what his name was up until this particular point? So let me know what you guys thought about that. Like, did you really know what his name was? Or have I just been missing it on the TV, the previous episodes? Anyway, he looked so cute in his confessional with the white button down, with the plaid on the sleeves and his glasses. He looked so handsome. And I also wasn't really mad at his tattoo. I feel like he may have done the best tattoo so far from Black Ink Crew New York. It was a portrait of I don't know if it was a Mary or Ave Maria or something. It looked like it was Mary, and he executed it very well. So props to him on his talent and having shown us the best work so far from the New York cast. And him coming out to his father, it was a beautiful moment to have been shown on TV. We also found out that he had not seen his father for 2 years, but he was very concerned about how his father was going to receive him because of what happened to him as a child when his father found a note that was written to him from another boy, and his father was just like, we're not about that life, cut it out. And he has never talked about the situation nor his sexuality to his father ever again. So when Kevin's father arrived and he pretty much just said, I am a black gay male and I have to be true to who I am. I was so proud of him for just being able to get that off of his chest. And I will say Donna did give him great advice, saying just go into it knowing that you're doing the right thing and you know who you are and you're not going to disappoint him. It threw me off for a second when his father's initial reaction was, have I failed you as a father? Now, I'm not mad at it because when you have parents who may not understand homosexuality and just being able to realize that we did not choose to be this way. It was something that naturally happened. It was nothing that you could or could not have done to change our organic attraction to the same sex. I feel like he reevaluated what he was saying and switched it up very quickly and just realized like, damn, this is my son. He said, I love you unconditionally. I accept whoever you feel like you are. And he said, I may not agree, but I'm going to always love you. And that was a beautiful moment. And the reality of it is, homosexuality is difficult to deal with because we're just getting into a space where people are beginning to accept, love unconditionally, embrace us. And I am definitely okay with the small steps that his father has taken and is taking, because I would prefer that over him just disowning and pushing his son away. And tears started to roll down my eyes, my God, when the dad stood up and solidified his love for his son with a huge hug, a big warm embrace. Like, that's what I'm saying. Love should prevail over all, regardless of your religious beliefs, regardless of your opinions, dislikes, what you don't understand. Love should still always be at the forefront. And at the very least, we can say that this man loves his son. Next, we saw in this episode that Caesar decides to no longer have sex with his employees, nor be promiscuous anymore. And I was gagging because I thought that Caesar was just thotting and bopping around town, my God, in Atlanta. I did not know he was getting head and coochie in the tattoo private booths during work hours, my God, because when he called the receptionist back, she said, are you ready for a quickie? And I'm like, oh my God, okay, so this is really going down like this. Also, we had Rob move in with Bay. It was a very funny and cute scene. I love seeing Bay happy. Rob seems to be very happy and very genuine. But I low-key gagged when Bay said, all I want from you is 3 things. She said, no bitches, I want bloody shoes once a week. And I said, hold up, wait, Bay. Rob is moving in with you, which would lead me to believe that this man does not have his own place, or maybe doesn't have a coin to have a nice place, or his place is at least not as nice as yours is, even though yours really isn't that nice, my God. So how are you going to require this man to buy bloody shoes when he ain't got a bloody apartment, my God? And last, Bay said that she wants to be effed on the regular, which I don't blame that. I'm all for that, my God. And all of her requests seem perfectly valid. They would be some of my requests as well if you married or are dating the right person who can afford to buy you some bloody shoes, that is. Last but not least, I must address Sky going to Melody's RV and trying to get her back. And Melody is not having it, not even with a pay increase. And what threw me off was Sky does not think sometimes this chick offered Melody a pay increase under the table on national TV. Sky, this girl is living in RV because she owes back taxes. So I don't think it's a good idea letting the public know that you could potentially have been or would pay her under the table, which would allow for her to skip out on paying her taxes, and then she would be owing the IRS again. So that's probably how she got into this situation to begin with. But anyway, guys, that's about it on my recap of Black Ink Crew. I hope that I addressed everything that you needed me to. Please follow me on all social media outlets. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications. One thing about the notifications, when you click the bell, guys, realize that there are 2 options. The one option is to be able to get notifications sporadically or sometimes, and then there's a second option to always get the notification. So you have to kind of check and see which one you're linked to, because that could be the reason as to why you don't always get notified when my videos are uploaded. So share the video. I appreciate you guys so much for continuously supporting me, even by myself, and bye guys.